5 years. Oh my god, it's been 5 years since I uploaded any sort of Destiny content, and I've got to say it feels good to be back on Destiny. It is the original Destiny is probably one of my favorite games of all time. Not that the story was really good. It was just a honestly very fun game to play. I never thought I would be playing it's not a single player game technically, but a lot of the content is single player based. I never thought I would be playing, a single player game for as long as I did Destiny. And, for that to be the case in regards to me, this game, that game, because this is Destiny 2, that game, Destiny 1, blew me away. I made great friends playing that game. I've met great people. The community was really good, and the raids were really fun. And what more can I say about that game? That game was definitely, an all-time favorite for me, and as far as video games go. With that being said, this is Destiny 2. It's been 5 years since I've uploaded any sort of Destiny content, so this is going to feel new to me. Especially since I started off playing Destiny on PS4 and now I play it on PC. So yeah, you can already imagine what that's like. When I switched to PC and played Destiny on PC for the first time, it was like a night and day difference. Like, oh my goodness, it was the frames per second. I was averaging about when I had my AMD GPU, like an RX 6800. I was averaging about 120 frames or on 4K on Destiny 2 on PC. And in the original Destiny 1 and Destiny 2 on PS4, because I did have to best this game on PS4 as well when I was in college, I was only averaging about 30. I think it was capped at 30 frames per second. So yeah, a huge difference in between, FPS counters and quality in general. This game is, Destiny was, like I said, it was all-time favorite for me. And the switch from this game to, PC and the overall quality improvement was such a drastic night and day difference. It just blew me away. You may not be able to tell it, on the YouTube video. It's a lot compressed. It only goes up to 60 frames per second, but this game it looks really good. I even noticed something really good that I didn't notice before. I think when you do a DisplayPort video connection rather than HDMI on PC, it looks a little bit better, in my opinion at least. I've noticed the colors on my monitor at least looks a little bit more, I don't know what's the word I'm looking for. It looks a little bit natural. The colors look a little bit natural and more vibrant, if that makes sense. So yeah, I definitely like the DisplayPort connection better. And it just looks like an overall good experience. Now that I'm back on Destiny after 5 years and finally uploading a Destiny YouTube video once again, I just wanted to talk about the Destiny, the Destiny franchise as a whole, and my sort of final review on Destiny 1 and my review on Destiny 2 as well. Destiny 1, at the end of the day, was, like I said, an all-time favorite for me. I don't think I've ever played a video game as long as I did that. I think I've played Destiny longer than I played Call of Duty Black Ops 1. And I have a average, days played on Black Ops 1 for about, I had like 30 days played on Black Ops 1 on the PlayStation 3, and that's not even including the 15 days played I had on the Nintendo Wii version of Black Ops as well. So probably about 45 days played combined. So yeah, I think I've gotten well over that in the original Destiny. The last few videos I uploaded to Destiny, I believe I sort of went over the reviews on that. I really enjoyed the game. The final raids that came out, the Wrath of the Machine and King's Fall, I really enjoyed those raids as well. Wrath of the Machine was definitely my favorite raid in Destiny 1. and I hope they bring it back in this game. They actually brought back King's Fall in this game, and I really enjoy that. Hopefully they can bring back Wrath of the Machine as well. The gunplay in that game was really good. Believe it or not, I actually enjoy the gunplay in that game a lot better than Destiny 2, just because, you know, Destiny 2 feels more like a arcade shooter right now, and I'll definitely get into that in the later video. The reason why I like Destiny 1 is because it's endless grind. There's always something to do in Destiny 1, and I'm going to talk more about that later in the video. There's a lot more to do in Destiny 1 than there is to do in Destiny 2. I remember, you know, grinding for hours trying to get the Gjallarhorn in Destiny 1, and I remember I uploaded that video probably about, give or take, 8 years now, and makes me feel old even though I'm only 23. But yeah, it was a really fun experience. I really enjoyed it, and, you know, I hope that someday they remaster Destiny 1 for PC, because PC never got the version of Destiny 1, so we're only, you know, stuck with the version of Destiny 1 that's capped at 30 frames per second. But, you know, it is what it is. So now on to Destiny 2, because this is a much different experience. I started playing this game on PS4 when I was in college, around 2017. Around the same time I uploaded my last Destiny video onto this channel. And, you know, I will have to say this game, I'm sorry, I'm having to clear my throat a lot. I'm not used to talking this much, truth be told. So the overall premise of Destiny 2, at least in the beginning of the story, because they actually sort of retconned the Ghaul storyline. The original premise of Destiny 2 is that, you know, Ghaul, this Red Legion dude, just invades and traps the Traveler's Light and tries to steal the light for himself. That's basically the easiest way to explain the story. And the story sounded good in hindsight, but the execution was far from the best. It was just not that good in terms of execution. It was probably one of the most boring campaigns I have ever played, you know, in a while. So yeah, it was just really not the best when it came to campaigns. The Leviathan raid, the first raid in Destiny 2 that came out, was okay. It was okay. It wasn't Vault of Glass worthy level. It wasn't Wrath of the Machine. It wasn't King's Fall level. But if I wanted to think of Crota's End, that's what I would think of. You know, the Leviathan raid, the first Leviathan raid with the robot Callus, because that game, that raid was basically 3 mini sections and a final boss. That's basically what Crota is. It's basically 3 mini sections and a final boss. So that's what that game was. It was a little bit more well-rounded than Crota. It took a lot more skill to complete the raid than Crota did. But in hindsight, it was a lot more like Crota. So it was, you know, a lot more difficult. So I've had my ups and downs with this game. You know, I originally didn't like it at first compared to Destiny 1, because it felt like it wanted to do a more lighthearted tone on Destiny. It was a lot more casual friendly compared to Destiny 1. When this game first came out, they were giving you exotics left and right, and I didn't like that, because the more it happened, the less I had to do, because I was earning, you know, all the best gear and the best weapons in the game very early on. I had literally nothing to do, and that's something you shouldn't have in a looter shooter, or, you know, anything with the RNG shooter. It's, you know, it gives you, you know, not very many options for things to do. And like I mentioned before, I didn't like the tone of the game, the atmosphere. I didn't like the direction that they made it a lot more casual friendly. You know, to use an example, in Destiny 1, when you're like doing something like patrolling or going through, certain activities, it's a lot more, how do I say, it's a lot more, the atmosphere is a lot more darker. You can definitely tell the tone that they're trying to establish in the game in comparison to Destiny 1, where it's a lot more lighthearted tone. The music in the background has a large factor in establishing tone. The way the sounds the enemies make, the spawns of the enemies, how they approach you, it's just the overall tone of the game. Whereas this one is a lot more, it's a lot more lighthearted, and I see what they were trying to do. They were trying to appeal to a newer generation of Destiny players, because I think a lot of Destiny players quit after year one of Destiny 2, and I guess they tried to just establish the new players, but you're not really supposed to do that. You're supposed to appease the people who have been with your game through thick and thin, and they just kind of said to heck with it. And I don't really like that. I don't really like that at all. I think the content in Destiny 2 was a lot more friendly. It was a lot more casual than it was in Destiny 1. You didn't have the hard strikes such as Valis to Arc on Nightfall or Omnigul on Nightfall. The raids were a lot more simpler. And the content in general was just a lot quicker, and they got rid of if I not recall, I haven't died on a Nightfall yet in this game, and I think they don't reset the Nightfall when all players die. Back in Destiny 1, when all players died, the mission would reset. You would have to reset the mission. Now, you don't really have to reset the mission. It just resets you at the last checkpoint. And it's things like that kind of get me, because they're trying to make it more user friendly and things of that nature. But that's what makes Destiny great. It gives you the grind. It gives you the thing of wanting more. And you can't really get the thing of wanting more when you're getting handed everything to you. The content is being walked through like a breeze, and everything is just being handed to you, and I don't like that. Trials of Osiris and Iron Banner, in the multiplayer in general, I should say, because that's a big factor of Destiny 1 to me. I was actually playing that multiplayer more than I was playing Black Ops 3 or Infinite Warfare at the time, believe it or not. The multiplayer in Destiny 1 was far better. Just gonna put that out there. By the way, I carried this dude in this strike before the third guy came along. The multiplayer in Destiny 1 was a lot more competitive, and it was all more casual at the same time. I feel like there's some form of skill-based matchmaking in this game. I'm not sure, but perhaps it's just the increased verticality in this newer game. I talk about in my Call of Duty videos all the time how players back in the day used to be better than players nowadays. Players nowadays used to be better than players back in the day, and I think that translates well into this game too, because the players in this game are just far better than what they used to be in Destiny 1, and I can definitely tell you firsthand. I don't know if it's because of the increased frames per second. I don't know if the fact that this game's on PC. I don't know what it is, but I constantly find myself getting my butt kicked in PvP in this game compared to Destiny 1. I don't know what it is, but maybe I haven't adapted to the new movement system with the stasis, the new subclass stasis, and whatnot. And I probably haven't adapted to it yet. And I think that's one of the reasons why I'm so adamant about the change in Call of Duty, is that You have to be adamant to the certain changes that developers make. And this game is a lot more fast paced than the multiplayer in this game is a lot more fast paced than in Destiny 1. And some of you in the comments were probably like, Simeon, isn't that is that a good thing? And to that I say, well, define good, because Destiny 1 is always had that unique charm to it in terms of multiplayer. It was like sort of like a Halo style. It was like a mix of Halo and Call of Duty. It was the perfect balance between slow paced and fast paced. You had multiple ways to play the game. You can play it slow, you can play it fast. The Destiny 1 maps were far better than the original Destiny 2 maps. I know they brought back a lot of the Destiny 1 maps in the game, and I'm glad they did that. But at the same time, with the newer subclasses and the new ways to play the game, those maps do not play remotely the same as they did in Destiny 1 because of the fast-paced environment that changed since then. And with that being said, I think they should make new maps that cater to the fast-paced movement. But the maps that they made currently in the original Destiny 2 were so bad that they had to bring the old maps back. And that's been a problem with a lot of games these days, a lot of multiplayer games in particular. These developers don't know how to make good maps, so what they do is they bring back old maps from older games in their same genre, and they just say, well, here you go, here's the old maps that you wanted. And it just shows a lack of creativity in terms of that. Now, with that being said, the multiplayer in Destiny 1, in my opinion, was far better. You had a lot more variety. You had the game modes where you can have bigger maps in the game with the pikes and everything, and they, for some reason, removed that from Destiny 2. They removed a lot of the game modes from Destiny 2 that were in Destiny 1. Like right now, there's only in Crucible in Destiny 2 as of now. You can only play like maybe 4 game modes. Back in Destiny 1, it was like 7 game modes, and they wouldn't remove them either. Those game modes can be played at any time, whereas in Destiny 2, they interchange. So one week you might have Clash, one week you might have Rumble, one week you might have the free-for-all game mode that's in this game. I forgot it's called. I think it's just called Clash. One week you might have Team Clash or whatever they call, and it just gets really annoying that they keep on removing and re-adding game modes. The raids in this game they're okay. The first couple were too easy in my opinion, but I never played all the raids in this game because I've had a hit and miss relationship with this game. I've taken breaks and then came back. I've taken breaks and then came back because I was in college and everything anyway, so I had to do that. But this game it's okay. It's not as good as Destiny 1. It's nowhere near as good as Destiny 1 in my opinion. I think they could have done a lot better with this game. I think they went a little too casual on this game. And that may be a good thing in terms of their profits, their revenues, because they're getting potentially getting younger kids into the game. I don't know exactly what their sales numbers are or how they, progress through everything. But it's okay. As far as the strikes in this game, I think the strikes, again, were far better in Destiny 1. Maybe this is just me being nostalgic. I don't think I'm being nostalgic. I played both of these games, an extensive amount of time. I don't want to say I spent as much time on Destiny 2 as much as I did Destiny 1, but I do feel like I've spent, a good amount of chunk on this game. And I do have to say that this game is, in terms of strikes, this game, they don't have that many memorable strikes. It's just, there. And a lot of the strikes in this game, they try to make as, like raid mechanics to it. Like every single strike now, you you shoot the enemy until he gets a third health, and then becomes immune. Then you have to do this task. Then he becomes unimmune, and then you should make his health go down another third, and then he becomes immune again. You're seeing it in this video right now. Every single strike boss is exactly like this. And that gets annoying after a certain amount of time. It just really gets annoying. Sometimes I just want to, use a Gjallarhorn or a Sleeper Simulant or whatever. But, I think I'm running out of time on this video. But anyway, glad to be back on Destiny. Peace.